The news story loads on the screen and I'm waiting. Waiting to see how many more got infected, how many recovered, how many were lost. What, if anything, humanity discovered? I'm waiting. Waiting for the day to end so the same one can begin. It's Blur's Day again. I open my eyes with caution and delight, happy to have survived another night, but afraid of what today brings. Sitting in the same chair with the same cares, hoping I can deal with everything. I look out my window with concern. Cars and people everywhere. When will the rest of us ever learn? I'm struggling with what these weeks have grimly shown. You see, I've always lived together alone. Outside looking in, lonely on the fringe. We like to joke and say us introverts have been preparing for something like this our whole lives. But that's mostly a lie. Quiet and distant doesn't mean ready to die. Social distancing by choice isn't the same thing as a stolen voice. We still need to pick and choose participation, not mute every conversation, remove every event. Now what will I cancel at the last minute? Where am I going to? Sad as it seems, that's what gets me through. That upcoming show, festival, hanging out with friends, that one small thing I was excited about this weekend. I look at my calendar and I see nothing still planned. And yes, I understand. It has to be this way. People aren't safe. It's a new normal, and the new normal can't wait. But I can. And it feels like the worst time. We struggle through the winter, fight through the cold, and embrace the spring like it was the perfect prescription for our souls. It makes January bearable, February survivable. To know that April and May are undeniable. It's being released from the prison of our minds, out on parole, except now we can't go. Been given an added sentence for crimes we did not commit, and not everyone knows how to deal with it. So some mess it up for the general population, add more time to collective incarceration, COVIDiots who can't keep their distance, so-called leaders who take no precautions, see the pandemic as non-existent, put people on pedestals that look like coffins until we run out of options. I didn't fight through the agony of the winter blues to feel even more sad and confused, but there's so little to look forward to. Sports have become memories. Smiles are now history. Anxiety is now in. So are panic and selfishness. People are hoarding hope by the ton when there isn't enough for everyone. Store shelves empty like survival of the fittest. Our everyday economy pushed beyond its limits, and I'm waiting for a small check to fix very little. Caught between emotional extremes, I'm waiting in the middle. I used to think I was stuck. I used to think life was on hold. Now I really know where the anxiety goes when I have to think out loud. Screaming into the void where everybody lives now, will we ever be the same? Thousands lost. I'm talking about people, not profits. When will we begin to look past the flattening curves of the stock market? This crisis has shined a spotlight on too many broken systems. What inequality looks like. Today's exchange rate, say an American dollar, is worth more than an American life. Especially if that life isn't white, or straight, or male, or rich. Like how you're born is a choice, but I can't remember which. I'm vigorously washing my hands of hypocritical public servants who provide nothing but lip service and do as little as possible. Fight as little as possible, embrace fear to keep things stale and tolerable. People used to hope for a slice of paradise, or at the very least, for a better life. Right now, our only hope is that we don't get sick and die. The self-quarantined mind struggles to realize that our spirits aren't made to be confined. I'm not sure we'll all make it. We have to try. Cover our infectious fears, mask our objections. I've never been more connected with much less connections. Never been less starry-eyed. I've never been able to see the whole of the moon. I'm waiting for the world to change, trapped, alone in my room.